So episode 2 of Rent a Girlfriend, there's some things I definitely want to talk about when it comes to based off season 4 of Rent a Girlfriend. There's quite a few things I definitely want to talk about, and some major topics I definitely want to talk about. Now, since episode 3 is going to be coming sometime next Tuesday, which is basically, I think today is Tuesday. Let me check here. Yes, today is Tuesday, so Rent a Girlfriend comes out every Tuesday. Okay, so I personally want to say here at basis that there is going to be quite a bit of things I really want to talk about. I don't know how long this video is actually going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be long, and I want to go through the details. I'm not going to spoil for episode 3 because I think I know what's basically going to happen in episode 3. I have to keep reading the manga. I did read the last chapter of the manga because I wanted to see what really basically happened. I don't really want to talk about that right now until I get caught up because I wanted to read that chapter. I don't know 384 it's already came out or not. I'm very interested in that, but I really want to see how things are really actually going to go. So the first thing which is basically number one I definitely want to talk about was Chizuru. This is something very important that people really needs to understand. When Chizuru asked Kazuya, are you in love with me? What that means is that it's very important for her to really actually to know. And the reason why she really wants to know that because that's what she really wants to know. And the reason why she really wants to know that because she wants the honesty from Kazuya. Because Kazuya was just sitting there just hesitating and not giving a straight answer. But you also have to really to look into consideration in this also as well too, that you also have to think about this also well too, because Kazuya could not really come up with an answer, because I kind of felt like that was kind of like a disappointing kind of situation to me, because like when someone asks you like, are you in love, or you love me, do you really like me, or anything like that, that's very important. I like the relationship between Kazuya and Chizuru, basically getting to know each other basically as friends. But when you're sitting at a table or sitting whoever you basically actually are, and you have feelings for that person, and that person's asking you that question, how are you going to respond? That's what it basically feels to me. Now, some people would probably say this is a really bad thing because Kazuya really didn't say anything. Some people would think that. However, to me, I think that is basically the way. I think that Kazuya does want to say it, or maybe that he's really scared that he doesn't really want to say it. But that leads on to number 2, which is the big major problem, is between Ruka-chan and also Kazuya. That is something I think that's going to be in episode 4. That's going to be a major revelation to me. I think that really basically actually is. I did read pretty much based into that, but I will explain that. But so I really don't mean to spoil for any of that, but I definitely want to explain that. To be honest with you, I'm just going to say this right now. I understand Kazuya is in love with Chizuru. Okay, I understand it. Okay, I really definitely do. I don't know why it took him so long to say like, yeah, I am in love with Chizuru. Okay, because when she basically just asking him basically just that, he could have just basically just said that. But there's a problem with that too. Because Chizuru already knows that Ruka and Kazuya are pretty much all together. But you also have to put it in perspective because Ruka-chan is basically, yeah, she's a selfish basic kind of person. She likes to be selfish. She wants everything what she basically really didn't want. Is she basically kind of like a jealous type kind of person? In a way, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I personally want to say here is basically that I've said many different rants about Ruka-chan and stuff like that. And she's still basically one of my favorites. But she seems like she wants to put herself the high popularity on top of the list. And what that means is basically that. That for one, that she expect every guy to put her on top of the list. Means that she wants all the attention. Number two, that means that she wants somebody to be faithful to her. And number three, she wants all the attention. So that basically what it means is that basically what it means is that it's not like she's saying like yeah, I want you to worship me or anything like that. No, that's not really the basis of the case. That's not really the basis of the situation that she really definitely do want. But she really wants the attention. But you also have to keep in mind basis that Ruka-chan is in love with Kazuya. Kazuya has to really to understand that Chizuru she probably does have feeling for Kazuya. Maybe that she doesn't really know or anything like that. When I first read that in the manga, I was really kind of shocked and surprised because when she really actually said that to Kazuya, because Kazuya could not come up with an answer. And I think that's the reason why that Chizuru was just basically giving Kazuya the cold shoulder and saying like, I expect an answer for you, but you didn't give me an answer. You didn't give me an answer. So I kind of feel that that's kind of like a disappointment to me from what I see from Kazuya from right there, because I would have basically, if I was in that position, yes, I would definitely would tell, basically would tell Chizuru and say, yes, I definitely am in love with you, I definitely am. But there's a problem with that. Like I said before, the major problem is basically with Ruka-chan. He has to understand that he's in a relationship with Ruka-chan. What you have to understand is that you can't have both ways. You can't have two girls all at once. There's no way that's going to work out, because both of the girls will probably end up fighting each other. They're probably getting jealous, and they'll probably say, like, Chizuru will probably say, oh, you love Ruka-chan more than me. Oh, Ruka-chan will say, you love Chizuru more than me. So basically, to me, is that Kazuya has to make up his mind. He needs to do what he needs to do, and he really needs to understand the situation that he is in. If he really is deeply in love with Rukia, then he needs to stay with Rukia. That's what he needs to do. He needs to be faithful to her, because even though they're both in a relationship, he cannot continue to keep chasing after Chizuru, because Chizuru is basically the kind of person, I think that she's really searching for something. I think she's searching. She's picking some ideas from Kazuya. Means that she's picking some ideas from his brain. What that means is basically that she really wants to know what kind of make him tick. Not like mad or anything like that, but to see like what does he really want and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I think pretty much almost every single guy definitely do want to get laid and stuff like that. But I don't think not every single guy basically really like that. I don't think that really basically is the factor. Basically a factor. And to be honest, and stuff like that. Like once you get married, you're settled in and stuff like that, and it's just like you can do whatever you pretty much that you basically definitely you want. Having a relationship with somebody is not easy. It's not. Kazuya has to understand it. He's in a relationship with Ruka-chan. That's what he's in a relationship with her. He has to really understand it. He needs to understand it. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I would basically stay with Ruka-chan, but I would not basically go forth and say I want Chizuru, because that would lead on to a bigger problem, because Ruka-chan would probably get jealous, because she probably would. Now, here comes the big elephant in the room, Mami-chan. Mami-chan is going to play a major role in this season 4 anime. And the reason why I'm saying this because I read some parts of the manga, but I'm not going to go into really much of the details, because I'm already seeing what's going to happen. Now, when it comes to episode 3, I'm not really going to talk about that really too much, because I think some people would probably get the idea. To be honest with you, I would highly recommend reading the manga, because it's very, very important to read it. But there's also other different things I definitely want to say here, is basically that a lot of people really do not like the manga. Probably don't like the series, probably don't like the anime, and stuff like that. I do have issues with it and stuff like that. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's really all that great. I think it's a really great series. I think it really actually is. Maybe I did say great, but anyways, I would personally definitely say here, to be honest with you, in my own view, it is a good series. It's a really good series, but it does have some flaws basically in the series. The problem is based with Kazuya just how he could not figure out, like, what does he really definitely want, and what does he really actually sees and stuff like that. You know, that's what I definitely do think. That's what I definitely do think. Go back to season 1, the very first episode of Rent a Girlfriend with Mama Chan. Mama Chan broke up with him. Because she thinks that he's not a good kind of man that she really definitely do want. I don't like Mama Chan, to be honest with you. Yeah, she's cute and all stuff like that I definitely would personally say that. But even though with Mama Chan faces and stuff like that, whatever that she's doing, she's stirring up some kind of big kind of trouble, and I don't trust her at all, because what she's doing right now, there's something that she's really doing. She's cooking with some gas. I'm not gonna lie. She's cooking a barbecue. Let's just put it that way. She's putting all her chips on the table, and she's taking that big risk, and she's really willing to do that, and willing to take it in. For one, I think that she's after revenge. For two, I think that she really just doesn't care. And three, I think she really wanted to ruin Kazuya's life, and also Chizuru also too. Plus, the grandma with the situation of Grandma Namiki, which is basically is Kazuya's grandma. I have a feeling. I definitely think that Mami Chan is trying to get closer to Namiki, which I definitely think it means is that the more closer that she gets to Nagami, the more the situation is going to become very grave, which basically means is that it could lead on to some very good possibilities. Could it mean that she could kill her? That's a very good possibility. I'm not so sure if that really is definitely going to happen. Could mean that maybe she's trying to scam her in basically some way, or number three, could it be a very good possibility that she could be accessing to her bank account and taking money from her bank account? Now, Mommy is a very mysterious character, no doubt about it. I'm not gonna lie, she really actually is. But whatever schemes that she's really trying to come up with, she's really trying to come up with something. So I definitely would personally say I think Mommy Chan is a wild card based on this anime. The reason why I say that because she really actually is. I definitely do think that she really actually is. Now, I want to talk about Sumi Chan. I have not seen really much of her. I personally want to say here, especially, I'm kind of very disappointed because we really don't get to see Sumi Chan really all that much based in the manga. I think that she's personally just one of the best girls basically in the anime. I definitely do think so. I really like Rika Chan really a lot, but Sumi Chan seems to me that she's just kind of absent. Basically just kind of absent and just not really basically really not shows up to the scene really all that basically really definitely do much. But I really am kind of wondering like what she's really actually doing and what kind of situation that she's really actually in. I'm wondering like what she's doing. Now I also want to talk about the girl with the blue hair, the girl with the black hair with the blue ribbons in her hair. She's a very good support basically to the MC because she gives great advice to Chizuru and also to Kazuya also as well too. I don't see her being a really major of a love interest to the MC. I really don't think so. She's cute and all and stuff like that, but I really don't think that there's really a very good possibility that basically being that way. But she really does look up to Kazuya really a lot, and I definitely do think that's a very, very good thing. Definitely do think a very good thing. But I definitely do see her going out with I definitely do see her basically going out with the guy with the glasses on, because I think them two pretty much definitely do get along with each other, and they pretty much have a pretty good stabilization between each other. So I definitely do think that them two would probably end up being boyfriend and girlfriend really a lot. Now, before I go ahead in this video, there's one very important person I think that some people really need to think think about, and this is very important. Kaiba is basically, or I would say Kiba, whatever his name is. He's a very, very good support basically. He's best boy basically in the series. The reason why basically I say this is basically because he really helps Kazuya really out a lot. Because he knows Kazuya, because he really actually knows him really quite a lot. What that means is basically that he helps him out in situations where he basically can really understand. I could tell Kiba, or whatever his name is, Kaiba, that he does want a relationship, and he really does, and he knows his grandma, and he knows his grandma. He basically definitely do know. But you also have to keep in mind, because when he mentioned about Mami-chan, he was, Kazu just kind of like wonder, like, what does Mami-chan really up to? That's the question. That's the major question. What is she really trying to do? But I still think that she's doing some foul play going on. She's cooking with gas. She's cooking a barbecue. She really, as she is, she's really trying to stir up some really big trouble, and that's what I definitely think. I don't like Mami-chan for whatever reason. I don't like her because she's just basically, and I'm just gonna say that, I don't mean it because she's a bitch. I'm just gonna say it. She's a bitch. That's all I'm just gonna say. That's my opinion. The reason why I'm going to say that because that's what she is. She's just doing something really scummy, and yes, I definitely do think that she's the main antagonist basically when it comes into the series. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this long review. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys agree with some of the things I said, disagree with or anything like that? What did you guys thought about with Cheezer basically asking Kazu, like, are you in love with me? Why did Kazu didn't really actually say that? I really am kind of curious. What are you guys' sort of thoughts and opinions about basically with Mami-chan? And what are you guys' thoughts about basically with Ruka basically being in a relationship with Kazuya and stuff like that? And I'd love to hear what you guys' opinions about the boy with the glasses on being maybe a possibility, maybe going out with the girl with the blue hair, actually the blue ribbon in her hair. I think that's a very good possibility. I really definitely do think so. And what are you guys' opinions on with Kaiba, basically with him being a good support, a very good friend, a best friend to the MC. So yeah, anyways, this is next. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down, and please leave a comment below. And I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Remember to I love you guys. Please stay. Everybody stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care.